Welcome to another Valorant guide from AimLab. I'm DDK, and in this video we'll be looking at holding sites post-plant on ASCENT. As the attacking team, planting the spike is only half the battle. To score a victory, you'll either need to prevent a defuse or eliminate all of your opponents. Great positioning, map control, and utility usage are all key to holding a site successfully once the spike has been planted. We'll use some recent pro play examples on ASCENT from VCT Challenges NA to break down different post-plant scenarios. The foundation of holding a site is knowing what angles to cover. From that point, it's vital to then consider other factors, including how many players are left standing and what utility is available to each team. This will generally determine whether or not you should attempt certain positioning and setups. If you know that your opponents have remaining utility to retake the bomb site, you should anticipate how that utility might be used for their retake. Your team will then have the best chance to counter this play and maintain control of the site. While there may be a multitude of possibilities and combinations in the post-plant phase, we can learn from the pros by looking at scenarios from VCT Challenges NA Stage 2. The first example is from Round 5 of Map 2 in the Challenges NA Stage 2 lower bracket Round 2 between 100 Thieves and Team Envy. 100 Thieves decide to play B site, sending 4 members through B main and leaving 1 to watch for a potential flank from mid. After trading several kills with Envy, 100 Thieves take control of B site with a 3v2 advantage. At this point, 100 Thieves are able to assess the scenario. The remaining agents on Envy are Sova and Astra. Nitro knows that the enemy Sova no longer has his recon bolt because he destroyed it from B only moments earlier. Steel places a turret at the doorway between B main and switch. When it's destroyed, he knows that at least one of the enemies is playing from defender side spawn. As Hiko plants the spike, Crashies decides to push from stairs. Nitro uses a one-way to counter this push from his position in B back. Omen's dark cover blocks all of Crashies' vision, and he's immediately taken out by Nitro. Steel swings from B main to try and get an easy kill from this contact play, but Mummy is holding that angle with an operator. From here, Nitro and Hiko know they can simply hold the B back without peeking. Mummy briefly switches to a Vandal to see if he might be able to isolate a gunfight, but with no stars in the vicinity of B site, he recognizes that he can't win the 1v2. He then switches back to the operator to save it as 100 Thieves take the round. Here we see Round 5 of Map 2 in the Challenges NA Stage 2 lower bracket final between Version 1 and Cloud9. V1 decide to play A site, sending 2 players to A main and 2 more to take control of Tree from mid cubby. After an aggressive push by Penny, Version 1 is in a 3v2 situation. Zelsis approaches A site from scaffolding, knowing that Effys is covering half of the site from A main. He gets the kill on Zeta to make it a 3v1, but Leaf arrives at scaffolding in time to trade for a kill. And at this point, Effys and Whippy are able to assess the scenario. The one remaining agent on Cloud9 is Reyna, whose only utility in this situation is Lear. Because Lear can be shot down, Effys and Whippy know that Leaf is unlikely to go for a direct engagement. Whippy places a turret on top of the generator, and Effys fires a recon bolt towards the far side of scaffolding before planting the spike. When Leaf shoots the bolts and the turret, it gives Version 1 confirmation that he's still at scaffolding. In a numbers disadvantage, using Lear doesn't do much for Leaf here, as Effys and Whippy only need to hold their crossfire positions from behind generator and below scaffolding. Knowing that Leaf didn't go through balcony and tree, Effys and Whippy can focus solely on the scaffolding angle. They wait for Leaf to show himself first because they have the upper hand, and if one of them dies to Leaf, it is likely that the other will get the trade kill. In the end, Leaf approaches the generator and Effys takes him out to secure the round. The third example is from Round 13 of Map 1, in the Challenges NA Stage 2 upper bracket quarterfinal between ANDBOX and 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves decides to play B site, and with all 5 members approaching from B main. The push into switch is chaotic, with 100 Thieves losing 2 members, but they manage to get Ethan and Hiko onto the B site. As Ethan plants the spike, ANDBOX rushes B site. Hiko gets the kill peeking from the right side doorway of B back, but Ethan dies to Vice because he's still exposed on the site. And at this point, 100 Thieves are able to assess the scenario. They're at a 2v4 disadvantage with Hiko in B back and Nitro in B main. Hiko fires his remaining utility towards sidewalk for information, but the recon bolt is immediately destroyed. Nevertheless, this buys him just enough time to kill Boy from the right side doorway. At the same time, Nitro also gets a kill on Vice as he pushes towards sidewalk. Hiko then immediately checks the left side doorway, spotting Ye on stairs and killing Seb on B site. Going from a 2v4 to a 2v1, 100 of these can easily cover the remaining angle, and Nitro takes out Ye to win the round. All three of these examples from VCT Challenges NA Stage 2 show how the attackers can use their utility, positioning, and map control to win the post-plant scenario, even if they're down in numbers. For the Valorant Combine in late April, AimLab released 6 new tasks, based in greybox versions of ASCENT and Haven. One of these tasks is ASCENT Wall Peak, located inside B Bag, which you might also know as Boathouse or Cave. The objective in this task is to alternate between the 2 doorways as enemies spawn. On each side of the doorway is a red indicator which shows how many enemies you can expect. Just like in the real game, you should only peek enough to see one enemy at a time. If you swing too wide, you'll be exposed to multiple enemies and they'll have time to fire back at you. This is a great exercise for situations just like Hiko's, where you'll be holding the site from B back in a post-plant scenario. That's it for holding sites post-plant on ASCENT. I hope you learned something useful for your own gameplay, and stay tuned for more episodes about holding sites post-plant on the other maps as well. Thanks for watching, and let us know in the comments what other Valorant content you'd like to see next.